What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you GLS content today. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, we have our first official GLS proposal, and it seems as though the DAO, well, the DAO is there, but proposal or governance is essentially up and running, and we as a community, or anybody who's staking GLX, has the ability to now vote on a proposed action by the team. Now, if you're familiar with the Splinterland side of things, this just went live sometime in the middle of last year, I'd say, once things got set. And then at the beginning of 2023, we had player or community proposals put in, so that gave a whole new spin. But for GLS, I mean, the game is not even out yet, and we are already getting the ability to make decisions, for better or for worse. So I'm going to dive into this, and then I'll give you my opinions at the end. I've tried to read through some of the initial kind of chatter that was happening in the Discord just to see where the general mood was and to see if I was understanding this right, make sure I wasn't reading anything incorrectly. But we'll go through this. Again, I'm not going to read it to you fully, but I do want to cover a couple things, and then let's go ahead and just dive in. So we, the GLS sports team, Genesis League sports team, propose to extend the current distribution of airdrop rewards for the GLG pack holders, the GM, I don't know, there's so many things here, GML SPA, or, you know, the GML, the Genesis League goals packs that are currently available. They want to increase the rewards for staking those packs by an additional 20 million GLX, all right, at the rate of a little under 200,000 GLX per day. This would raise the minimum or maximum cap of the distribution pool for pack staking from 100 million to 120 million. So here, okay, this continued airdrop will be funded from the future partnership proposal described in the white paper. We're going to jump into that in a second, and will last for 103 days beyond the February 23rd, 2023 deadline, with an end date of June 6th, or unless the game becomes released before that, it will stop sooner. So the future partnership pool has an allocated 1.4 billion GLX and would change to reflect the 1.38 or higher. And then again, this is all going to be if it's released prior to all 20 million GLX being distributed. So if the game is released before June 6, 2023, then the airdrop will stop on that day of the release, and any remaining tokens from the 20 million GLX pool will be returned to the DAO. Okay, so the way that you can vote on this, and they actually have another post for this as well. They did a partnership with Peak Monsters, as well as not GLX, but Splex.gg. So I actually have Splex.gg open here. You can go to proposals, and now the proposal list is for Splinterland stuff. Then they have a GLS proposal list. You can see here that the initial area in which it looks like it's passing. It's about 80% passing right now. This is going to be the same kind of rules for as Splinterlands, where 10% need to actively vote one way or another. And then once you have that, the vote is considered valid, meaning that we can move forward with whatever the result is. And 66.66%, or essentially 2/3, need to vote in favor of in order for it to actually pass. So let's go ahead and jump back into here. We believe extending the airdrop for the staked packs will provide additional incentives for users to buy and stake their packs and participate in the GLS ecosystem. So the proposed extension will also help to further distribute GLX tokens to the community, thereby promoting wider adoption of the GLS platform. So here's the thing. It's not that I'm against this, and I know people will immediately jump on me because I don't hold any packs, right? So it's not, there's no incentive for someone like me to say, well, we should just distribute more, right? But I actually don't even mind that when it comes to this. If you bought in on the packs, this is an unproven project. I do want people to be rewarded. The reason that I am planning at this point in time to vote against it is because I don't like where the GLX tokens are coming from. So if we go over here, I have the white paper open, and you can see here that this is the tokenomics. There's 2 billion total GLX. That will never change, again, unless of course governance decides for that to be the case. But I don't think anybody would actually ever vote for that unless things got super crazy. But you can see here we got the 2 billion GLX that will ever be minted. Now you have this future partnerships which holds 1.4 billion, or roughly 70% of all GLX tokens in it. That is going to be decided by for its further future use case by the DAO. Now, this is supposed to be set aside for future partnerships, up to 100 million per partnership. Now, right above it, you have the GLG play to earn rewards, 100 million tokens, and about 15 million. Excuse me, about 15 million of these so far have been set aside for the GLG pack stakers. So what they want to do is take an additional 20 million from this 1.4 billion and give it to pack stakers. Whereas I'm looking at this and thinking, well, there's 85 million tokens here. If the game is going to be delayed, right, or if it seems like we're having some issues with when the game is going to actually get out, and there's going to be this long lag time between when the staking rewards for packs end and when the game actually is playable, then we should dip into this reward pool, similar to what Splinterlands is doing with its tower defense game. So I would rather the tokens come from here. Again, I'm not against people getting the tokens. In fact, if anything, like I said, I want people to feel like they're being rewarded for their faith in the project, even if I don't have any packs myself. So I'm voting against it in this iteration because I don't want anything to touch future partnerships. To me, I think that 1.4 billion tokens should be there and not usable, not attainable, not reachable until and unless we actually get partnerships. That will incentivize the team, the community to get behind new partnerships, new games, new projects underneath the GLS banner within the same ecosystem. Until then, though, I think it should be locked up, and I don't think that we should be dipping into it for any little thing. So to me, if I was going to vote for it, I would want it to come from this 100 million that we have. Again, 15 million has already been set aside for pack staking. If the game is going to be delayed until June, then I would say take the 20 million from there. Take the 20 million, that drops us down to 65 million remaining. We can, excuse me, at a future point, decide what we want to do with the future partnerships, the 1.4 billion, if we want to start allocating that back into GLG. But again, I would say that I really don't want to touch this, especially because we don't have any idea of what the game looks like right now. But my hope is that if we can, or if we do take it out of this pool, yes, will that make the rewards much less? That is obviously the biggest criticism and the biggest kind of argument against that. It'll make the rewards much less. But I also think that it is important that we prove that the game can, is something that will draw people in. And so pull it from here for right now. And at some point in the future, if the rewards are just too low or it just doesn't make any sense, we can talk about, increasing that to a certain point. But for me, I know maybe others will view it in a different way, right? It's like, 1.4 billion just sitting there. Yeah, let's tap into it. But to me, it's like a bad habit, right? It's just it's like eating potato chips or something, where it's just like, just one more, since we've already done it. Like, let's just get a little bit more for this, for that. And 20 million doesn't seem like a lot when you have 1.4 billion, but it's like 20 million here, 20 million there. So I understand that this will hopefully be just a one-time thing, but I really, really don't like the idea of it touching future partnerships. So that's kind of where my mind is at right now. Again, you have 7 days, I believe, to vote on this. Let me go back over to Splex. So yeah, you have 7 days to vote on this. I'm not going to vote right away. I do want to see what people, what people will say. And if there is, and will hopefully be some kind of town hall for GLG or GLS within the next week or so. I don't know if that'll be the case. They did say they were going to try and have one the week of February 20th. So that would be next week. And that would make sense if they do it early next week, that we would be able to, hear some of the team's thoughts on this. So that's just kind of where I'm leaning right now and what I'm planning. And again, it's not that I don't want pack owners or pack buyers to get staked GLX. I just think that it shouldn't be coming from that pool. But again, I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are, how you're feeling about it. And, overall, we'll see where it ends up going. But so far, it looks like it's passing. But there's only about 7.8 million. There's about almost 10 million so far that have been that have voted so far. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said, I actually want to discuss this out because maybe I'm not looking at the right way. Maybe I'm just being too sensitive about the 1.4 billion that's supposed to be set aside. But again, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. It's not that I don't want people to be rewarded. I just want it coming from a different pool. And I would rather vote this down and then vote that one up if that ends up being the case. So let me know your thoughts. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.